Michelle Waterson versus Angela Hill is a women's strawweight bout. Michelle Waterson has cheated record of 17 wins, 8 losses. Angela Hill has cheated record of 12 wins, 8 losses. Alright, so Michelle Waterson is actually 34 and 8 months old, and so is Angela Hill, so I really doubt that age is going to play that big of a factor in this fight. Alright, so Michelle Waterson actually had a pretty rough start to her pro MMA career, as she ended up winning her first fight, then losing, then winning, then losing, but then came back with a nice 4-fight win streak, with one of those wins coming by first-round submission. Now, after those 4 wins, she ended up fighting Eleanor Reed, who at the time was an undefeated fighter, and she ended up getting a loss. Now, after that loss, she had a very nice streak of 6 straight wins, with 2 of the wins coming by submission, 1 coming by decision, and 1 coming by third-round knee and punch KO. Now, after those 6 wins, 3 of which were inside of Invicta FC, she actually ended up fighting Harika Tiburico and ended up losing by guillotine choke. After that loss, she came back into the Ultimate Fighter finale and ended up getting a third-round rear naked choke of her own against Angela Magana. And after that win, she actually joined the UFC and faced Paige Van Zant, where she did really good, as she dominated the whole fight, which was only 3 minutes, 21 seconds, but still, she dominated the fight and got the first-round submission by rear naked choke. After that first win inside of the UFC, she ended up fighting former title holder Rose Namajunas and ended up getting choked in the second round. After that loss, she ended up fighting another really good fighter in Tecia Torres and ended up losing that fight as well by decision. After those 2 losses, she was really close to being cut from the UFC, but that's when she really picked it up, as she came back with a nice decision win over Courtney Casey, and then 2 unanimous decision wins over Felice Herrig and Carolina Kowalkiewicz, which got her a shot against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who at the time was, I think, ranked 4th at strawweight. Now, in the fight against Joanna, she was just getting outclassed by Joanna for the whole entire fight. I think it was a co-main or main, I'm not sure. It might have been a main event, and she ended up losing that fight by unanimous decision. After that loss, she had a little bit of step down against Carla Esparza in a really close fight where it honestly could have gone either way, but the judges thought Carla Esparza won that fight, so Michelle Waterson ended up losing that fight by split decision. Alright, now let's look at her opponent, Angela Hill. Alright, so Angela Hill also had an okay start to her career, as she started with a second-round KO, followed by a unanimous decision win. But after those 2 wins, she actually was invited into the UFC, where she lost to the same 2 people that Michelle Waterson lost to in Tecia Torres and Rose Namajunas by first-round rear naked choke and unanimous decision. After those 2 losses, she really picked it up with a first-round KO, a second-round KO, a decision win over Lavina Souza, who at the time was undefeated, and a unanimous decision win. Now, after those 4 wins outside of the UFC, inside of Invicta FC, she actually got invited back into the UFC, where, guess what? She fought another title holder in Jessica Andrade, and ended up losing that fight by decision. After that loss, she came back with a unanimous decision win over Ashley Yoder, but in her next fight against Nina Asarov, ended up losing by decision. After that loss, she came back with a decision win of her own, but in her next 2 fights, ended up losing a close decision to Courtney Casey by split decision, and a first-round armbar to Randa Marcos. After those 2 losses, she came back with a unanimous decision win over Jodie Escobar, but lost her next fight to Jingyong Yan by unanimous decision. After that loss, she came back with an amazing 3-fight win streak by third-round TKO, second-round TKO, and a unanimous decision win. But in her next fight against Claudia Gadelha, in a fight where most people actually thought she won, she ended up losing by split decision. Alright, so this fight is said to be a really close fight, but it just depends on who has the better game plan going in. Michelle Waterson, I don't know if she wants to keep it up. She probably will. Maybe she wants to throw in some clinch work in there. I don't know, but Angela Hill, her TKOs show me that her ground and pound is just amazing. So if she could just take Michelle Waterson down, put ground and pound on for 5 straight rounds, I think Angela Hill has no problem getting the win by unanimous decision. Alright, if you agree, disagree, or have something to say, make sure to put in the comment section below, and I'll make sure back to every single one of those comments. Make sure to like, subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss the absolute best MMA content out there. It's been fun, but I'm out of here.